If you're an INFJ, you weren't just the sensitive kid, you were the weather system manager. You learned that love shows up after the room is calm, and somehow keeping it calm became your job. Today, we're naming the wound you've been trying to heal for years without calling it a wound. Stick around. One of these signs is going to make you mad in the best way.
All right, first off, the Family Barometer. Who taught you to watch the door instead of the movie? Before you even had language for anxiety, your nervous system was doing weather reports. If a voice downstairs rose half a note or a cupboard closed a little too hard, your body logged the forecast, storms incoming. As a kid, someone else's mood decided the climate for everyone, so you studied micro-expressions like a second language. You caught the breath held too long, the smile that didn't reach the eyes, the silence that was a little too quiet. People call it INFJ intuition. Under the hood, it's high-end vigilance wrapped in empathy. Here's the hot take. Your gift is real, and it was trained by chaos. You weren't born craving control. You were born craving safety. Intuition became your seatbelt. You weren't predicting the future so much as preventing explosions. Fast forward to adulthood, and you read the room before the meeting starts. In friendships, you smooth conflict before anyone names it. You become the unofficial vibe manager, highly praised and quietly exhausted. Because barometers don't rest, they scan. There's a cost you rarely invoice. Hyper-arousal that never powers down. Decision fatigue from planning 3 outcomes ahead, and a layer of quiet resentment that builds when you're the one keeping everyone okay. Vigilance is not vision. It's survival brilliance that never got permission to stop. Run this self-check. When someone says, "It's fine," do you relax or open 12 tabs in your mind to double-check? Do you notice tension in a room faster than you notice your own hunger, fatigue, or boredom? If the answer is yes, your barometer is still running the house. Empathy isn't mind reading, it's presence. The barometer turns toxic when you start editing yourself to keep the weather sunny. That isn't connection, that's crisis avoidance with good manners. Support says, "I'm with you." Control says, "I'll handle you." Practice swapping prediction for presence. In the next awkward pause, name your state instead of managing theirs. "I'm noticing I'm tense. Give me a second." Try, "I can check in later. I'm at capacity." If your body flinches when you say it, you found the old alarm that needs retiring. You became the family barometer to survive the storm. Healing is learning you can let the room be cloudy without turning yourself into the sun. If this is you, type barometer in the comments and share one micro boundary you'll try this week. Next up, we have conditional worth, not conditional love. You probably weren't unloved. You were loved with terms. The message wasn't shouted, it was baked into daily life. Be wise, be helpful, be low maintenance, and connection arrives. Be loud, messy, needy, and connection cools. The childhood rulebook read like a contract. Be good, be useful, be invisible. You learned that harmony is earned labor, not a shared baseline. Your nervous system figured out that compliance opens doors faster than honesty. So you kept editing yourself to fit the room. Tiny self-betrayals started to feel noble. You swallowed needs, toned down joy, apologized for existing in high definition. You became the kid who anticipated problems and the adult who preemptively solves them. Somewhere along the way, "I'm lovable" turned into "I'm valuable when I'm valuable to you." Fast forward and the pattern looks impressive from the outside. You over-prepare, over-deliver, under-ask. You're the teammate who fixes the slide deck at 1 a.m., the friend who texts first and listens longest, the partner who becomes the glue. Praise lands and somehow makes you work harder. Here's the hot take. Most INFJs aren't people-pleasing, they're safety-seeking. People-pleasing is the uniform safety wears to work. It isn't vanity, it's insurance. If you are indispensable, nobody will leave. If you are low cost, nobody will resent you. If you need less, you lose less. The hidden math is brutal. You treat worth like a subscription you must renew monthly with acts of service. You invoice yourself for rest, for play, for asking directly. Usefulness becomes a currency, and you're always checking the balance. Run a gut check. Do compliments relax you or spike anxiety? Because now you must maintain a standard. When you ask for help, do you tack on a discount? Only if it's not a hassle, I can totally do it, don't worry. Do you feel guilty when you're not improving, fixing, or holding something together? Here's the reframe. You were a child, not a negotiator of love. Conditional dynamics trained your strategies. They did not define your value. You can't hustle your way into unconditional love. The audition ends when you stop auditioning. Practice breaking the contract in small, safe ways. Ask before you earn. I'd like the afternoon off. I'll finish this tomorrow. State needs without coupons. I want reassurance, not solutions. Try micro-imperfection reps. Send the draft at 90%, arrive without the fix, let a silence be a silence. New baseline to test this week. My worth is not a tip jar. If this hits, drop no conditions in the comments and write one sentence you'll say without disclaimers. If you disagree, tell me why. Debate welcome. And thirdly, we've got compassion as control. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your compassion sometimes doubles as a steering wheel. Not because you're manipulative, but because peace feels non-negotiable. If everyone's okay, maybe you're allowed to be. As a kid, harmony was survival, so you learned to anticipate and neutralize other people's emotions before they peaked. That skill grew up with you. Now it looks like empathy, insight, and being the bigger person. But under the hood, it's the same mission. Manage the weather, keep the room safe. In adulthood, this shows up as pre-solving problems nobody asked you to solve, cushioning feedback so thoroughly the message disappears, or nudging decisions for their good. It reads as kindness, it functions as control. You're not trying to dominate, you're trying to prevent loss. Hot take. Many INFJs don't want power over people, they want power over outcomes. Control is anxiety wearing a halo. If you can guide the conversation, soothe the reaction, or choose the timing, maybe you can dodge the explosion you grew up expecting. Telltale signs. You feel responsible for someone's bad day and secretly proud when you redirect it. You rehearse their possible reactions more than your actual truth. You offer help that subtly removes their agency, editing their message, calling on their behalf, deciding what they're ready for. Here's the bright line. Support says, I'm with you. Control says, I'll handle you. Support preserves sovereignty. Control purchases calm with someone else's freedom. One deepens intimacy. The other prevents volatility while quietly breeding resentment. Run a gut check. Do you feel uneasy when someone declines your advice? Do you feel safer when you're the calmest person in the room because that makes you the default pilot? Do you ever mistake agreement for closeness and discomfort for danger? Reframe. Your job is to be honest and boundaried, not to be the emotional air traffic controller. Let adults be adults. Let consequences teach. You can choose presence without assuming custody of the outcome. Practice scripts. I trust you to handle this. How would you like me to support you? I have thoughts if you want them. I'm also okay just listening. That decision is yours. My boundary is X. Say it simply, then stop talking. Silence is not neglect, it's space. Detox plan. Return responsibility to the rightful owner. When you feel the urge to rescue, breathe, label the urge, and ask permission before offering input. If they say no, honor it and sit on your hands. Your nervous system will protest. That's the old alarm, not current reality. Final reminder, compassion is clean when it respects choice. If this hit a nerve, tell me one place you're switching from I'll handle you to I'm with you. If you disagree, make your case in the comments. Iron sharpens iron. Fourthly, saint outside, storm inside. Here's the paradox. You're the kindest person in the room and the angriest body in the building. The smile is real, the warmth is real, and under it lives a weather front you've trained yourself not to feel. You became safe for everyone else by becoming a stranger to your own heat. As a kid, you learned that anger threatened connection, so you traded intensity for acceptance. You became agreeable, ultra-reasonable, spiritually tidy. The emotion didn't vanish, it went underground. Anger exiled doesn't die. It becomes a smoke alarm hidden behind drywall, blaring only when the house is already on fire. In adulthood, this looks like months of micro self-abandonment. You say yes while your stomach says no. You explain instead of stating. You don't mind what restaurant, what timeline, what tone. And then, seemingly out of nowhere, the door slam. People call it cold. It's not. It's a late boundary arriving after 1,000 quiet betrayals. Hot take, your problem isn't too much anger, it's too little permission. The saint persona is a safety suit. It wins praise and buys peace, but it also taxes your nervous system and turns ordinary requests into moral dilemmas. When your body finally revolts, it isn't cruelty, it's an overdue invoice. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Anger is not a verdict, it's a dashboard light. It says a value was crossed. If you read it early, it guides you. If you ignore it, it drives. Calm people aren't anger-free, they're anger-literate. They hear the signal at a 2 out of 10, not after it spikes to a 9. Telltale signs you're running the Saint Storm loop. You need 3 paragraphs to say one boundary. You feel relief after over-explaining, then resentment when the other person negotiates your no. You call yourself conflict avoidant, but you're actually intimacy avoidant with yourself, dodging the inner argument you don't want to hear. Run a gut check. Do compliments obligate you? Do you fear that directness will make you mean, so you outsource honesty to exhaustion? When someone crosses a line, do you get nicer? If yes, your nervous system still believes harmony must be purchased with self-erasure. Practice scripts that keep you human. I'm not available for that. I can't say yes to this timeline. I'm not mad at you. I'm noticing anger, which tells me a value got crossed. I'm willing to disappoint you to be honest with me. Deliver them once without an essay. Let silence do the heavy lifting. Micro habits to build anger literacy. Rank your charge from 0 to 10 twice a day and write the trigger in one sentence. Choose one 3 out of 10 conversation each week and have it before it becomes a 7 out of 10. Replace apologies for existing with gratitude for flexibility. Thanks for understanding instead of sorry for having needs. Final reminder, the Saint was a brilliant child strategy. The storm is your body asking to be consulted. You don't have to choose between kindness and truth. Fifthly, choosing projects over partners. Be honest, do you fall for potential more than for people? The almost there artist, the chaotic genius, the recovering everything. You're drawn to the story arc, the before and after you can help write. It feels like destiny. It's actually familiarity. If you can fix it, maybe you can finally fix the ache you carried home from childhood. As a kid, usefulness opened doors. You learned that being steady, wise, or selfless earned closeness. So in adulthood, you pick relationships where those same skills make you indispensable. You become the coach, the calendar, the conscience. The mission gives you purpose. The person gives you little in return, but a promise of soon. From the outside, it looks romantic. Late-night pep talks, rides to appointments, forgiveness after forgiveness. Inside, it's a job. You manage their moods, remind them of tasks, explain basic respect like it's advanced calculus. You call it love. Your body calls it overfunctioning. The more you do, the less they need to. Hot take? Intensity is not intimacy. Progress is not presence. Your nervous system mistakes adrenaline for chemistry and chaos for depth. Boring feels wrong because stability never had a soundtrack in your house. So you chase the spike and call it soulmate energy. Here's the hidden math. If you are needed, you can't be left. If you are fixing, you don't have to be fully seen. Projects keep you important and safe, but also lonely. The role of rescuer is a disguise that hides your own unasked needs. Run a gut check. When they improve, do you relax or feel strangely unnecessary? Are your compliments mostly about potential instead of character? Do you craft speeches in your head more than you feel met in your heart? Would you still choose them if there were nothing to fix? Reframe the target. A partner isn't a personal development program. They're a person who meets you. Choose mutuality over mentorship. Choose someone whose baseline is responsibility, not promises. Compatibility isn't, can I stabilize them? It's, do we both self-stabilize and then connect? Try clean scripts. I care about you, and I'm not available to be your coach. I trust you to handle your side. Here's what I need on mine. I can support you with empathy, not management. If you want ideas, ask specifically. Otherwise, I'll just listen. Build micro habits that interrupt the rescue reflex. Wait 24 hours before fixing anything that isn't on fire. Ask once. Don't ask repeatedly. Track actions, not explanations, for 30 days. Practice receiving. One clear request a week that benefits you. No apology attached. Use this filter early. If they were fully healed tomorrow, would the relationship get better or lose its purpose? If the answer is lose purpose, you've got a project, not a partner. Step back with compassion and let reality answer the question you've been trying to outwork. Sixthly, what actually heals? Not just feels good. Not platitudes. Practice. The INFJ wound heals when safety comes from self-trust, not from managing rooms. Your new job isn't weather control. It's nervous system stewardship. Noticing, naming, and choosing on purpose. Radical boundaries start with one rule. Stop pre-processing other people's feelings. Their face is weather, not a verdict. Try clean lines without essays. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that timeline. I can help on Tuesday for 1 hour. Say it once, calmly, and don't audition for permission. Choose ordinary love over cinematic chaos. Chemistry without consistency is just adrenaline. Make boring safe your gold standard. Steady responsiveness, clear communication, repairs after conflict, no heroics required. If your body calls that dull, remember, stability feels unfamiliar during chaos detox. Not wrong. Voice needs before you think you've earned them. Needs aren't invoices.
They're information. Delete the discount language. No more only if it's not a hassle, totally fine if not, or 3 paragraphs of justification. Try I want reassurance, not solutions. Please text when you arrive. I'd like more quality time this week. Treat anger as data, not a personality flaw. Use the 0 to 10 check twice a day and name the crossed value in 1 sentence. I'm at a 4. My value for respect got nicked. Then pick the smallest boundary that honors that value, a request, a limit, or a graceful exit. Calm people aren't anger-free, they're anger-literate. Practice micro-disappointments to rewire safety. Let one person down a little on purpose this week, and watch the world not end. Decline the extra shift, leave the group chat on read, send the draft at 90%, and go for a walk. Your nervous system learns from evidence, not affirmations. Replace rescuing with consent-based support. Ask, do you want empathy, ideas, or space? If they choose space, honor it. If they want ideas, offer to and stop. Support says, I'm with you. Control says, I'll handle you. Keep your side clean. Create a 3-beat check-in before you act. Me, you, us. Me, what am I feeling and needing? You, what have they actually asked for? Us, what keeps the relationship respectful? Act after you answer, not before. Build a gentle life routine that makes boundaries easier. Quiet mornings, phone face down during recovery windows, movement that settles your body, 1 hour a week labeled nothing heroic. Systems reduce the number of moments where willpower has to do all the work. When in doubt, use these scripts. I choose the steady thing. I don't manage your emotions. I manage my boundaries. I'm willing to disappoint you to be honest with me. Let's revisit this tomorrow when we're both resourced.